This video is going to show how to use Google Forms. So first of all, to get to Google Forms, you have to be in your Google Drive. So just on your home screen like this, and then you want to create a new workspace for it. So you go up here to the left top corner of the blue button that says New, and you click on it, and you don't see Google Forms in this first original menu. However, if you click More, Google Forms is right here, and it's on the top one. So you choose that. And this is just telling me that I'm creating it in a shared folder, so anyone that I have allowing to edit or view this folder is going to be able to see. It's going to be included. So then it takes you to this screen. So this is the right away your Google form. So Google Form has a lot of different options, and we're going to go through them all. And this Google Forms is a really good option for doing assessments or surveys or anything like that. And so it could be a really, really useful classroom tool. So first of all, we're going to go and talk about these buttons up here in the upper right corner. So this first button right here, it looks like a little palette, and that's because it is. It's the color palette. So if I click on that, you see these options. So these are the different colors that I can choose for my back. So right now, just default is the purple. So if I want to change my color, I can just click on one, and there you go. It's changed. And also, if you don't want just a plain, boring color, you can go to this, and that little button means themes. So if I choose themes, I get all of these options. So there's work and school themes, there's nights out themes, there's travel, all kinds of things. I can choose whatever I want. There's some really cool ones. And then you can also, if you want to really personalize it, you can go to upload photo. So you can actually select a photo from your computer and look into your albums, go to Google+, those kinds of things. So you can add your own photo, you can pick a theme, you can just pick a color, whatever you choose. There's lots of options to kind of help decorate it and make it more fitting to maybe whatever you're assessing or surveying on. So that's the color palette button. So the next one looks like an eyeball. So this is the preview button. So right now the screen that I'm on is just the regular Google Drive form. However, if I go to send these out to people to respond to them, I want to see what their form is going to look like. Obviously, it's not going to be the same as what I'm seeing right now because I'm on the editing phase. And so if I want to see what it's actually going to look like once I have my questions and such, I can go to the preview button. And then right here, this is what everyone else is going to see. So if they get my link, if I send them this link or this survey or allow them to look at it, this is the screen that they see. So along the way, if you put in a question and want to know how it looks, if it comes up like you're thinking or something like that, then you can go right to looking at it. And then from there, you can click that little pencil and it brings you right back to your editing screen. So if you want something changed, then you can come right back to it. So I'm going to go ahead and just delete this extra tab. So there we go. So now we're back to the original one. So the next button is the settings button, and it looks like the little gear just like everything on Google. So within the settings, there's general, presentation, and quizzes. So going off of general, the first thing that you can choose to do or not to do is to collect email addresses. So one thing about Google Forms is unless you have a question on here that makes them show their identity, type in their name or something, you have no identifier of them. So one option on how to figure out whose answers are who, you can collect email responses. And so this will just pop up with a question and make them enter their email. And then you have it. So you can also decide if you want to limit them to one response. So to make sure that one person can only take the assessment or the survey one time. And on that note, if after submitting it, do you want them to be able to edit it? You can choose whether you want them to be able to edit it or not after they submit it. And you can also choose if you want to be able to see the summary charts and text responses. So those are just the general settings. So then presentation, so this is what the respondents are going to see. So you can show a progress bar. So if you have 10 questions, it'll show along the bottom 2 out of 10, 3 out of 10, just to show them where they're at. You can shuffle the question order. So maybe if you're afraid of cheaters, you can shuffle them all up so that no one's are the same. So it kind of helps eliminate that. And then you can also have a link shown to submit another response. So if you want them to be able to take it again, or if you want them to be able to somehow respond another time, they can have the link to do that. And then at the very end, when they're done, there has to be some kind of confirmation message. So the default one is your response is being recorded. So this just means after they answer all 10 questions or however many you have, they will get this response. And it's just kind of you're done, good job. So you could have that, good job, you're done, you finished the assessment or whatever you choose. Then there's an option for quizzes. So as of right now, it's not a quiz. All of these are dark because this is not a quiz. So if I want this to be a quiz, it gives me lots of different options for it. So it can grade them for me, which as a teacher is super helpful because it's so much time that is saved if the computer automatically does it for you. So you can have it grade their assessments for them, and then you can choose if you want them to be able to see their grade as soon as they submit it, or if you want them to only see their grade after you've already looked at it. So you can choose which option there. And then you can choose if you want them to see their missed questions or correct answers and the point values. So you can decide as the teacher or as the person sending the survey or assessment out, or the quiz out, and figure out what you want them to be able to see or do. So there's lots of different settings. So this next button over here is the send button. So on that, this is after you're all finished, this collect usernames option is kind of like the email option. So this will make them like log in. So once they log in, they have to use a username. So it's just another identifier. So you can send this form to people via email, the link, or the embedded HTML address. So if I want to send it to an email, I can type in the email right here, subject message, just like a regular little email. Then you can also just click on the link, copy the link, and send it to them somehow. Or I can do the same thing with the embedded HTML. So there's the different options to send it. These three little buttons, like everything on Google, are the more. So if you click on those, you can make a copy. So if you, for some reason, want a copy of this entire form for something else, if you're using it for something else, you can do that. You can move it to a particular folder. I don't have the option because I don't have a folder for it. You can move the entire thing to trash if you're done with it or don't like it or something. You can get the pre-filled link. You can print it. You can add collaborators, which is kind of like sharing. So decide who you want to be able to work on it with you. So this could be helpful if another teacher is helping you with it so that you can all work on it kind of together, which is a thing Google's famous for, is being able to work on stuff together. The script editor, and then just different add-ons for it. So going on to the other fancy little buttons that are included on Google Forms are these side buttons. So right now I have just an untitled form. So just like in Google Drive, Google Docs, anything, all changes are saved automatically, which is super nice because you don't have to worry about doing it yourself. So if I title right here, then it will automatically change this. So you can title whatever you want. So if it's a history quiz, then I can describe this is going to be about World War II or whatever the topic was. And then I already have a question. So going to these little sidebar are automatically with the questions. It's not about the whole survey or assessment as a whole like these buttons were. It's going to be about the questions. So this one is a add question, just a little plus sign. So if I do that, you see I get a question and have the whole option for that question. So then this next button is to add a title and description. So maybe I'm going to add a title about this section is going to be on vocabulary, and then my next section could be on something, the multiple choice or something, I could separate those and tell them so I could have title and